Maria Cabral. Let's give her a round of applause and thank her for her leadership. All the great labor leaders you heard from today. Mary Kay Henry, who is a national force for justice. Let's give her a round of applause. To Hector Figueroa, we thank him for his leadership. Let's give him a round of applause. For my courageous colleagues who are here today from government, starting with Controller Scott Stringer, Chris Shaw through CWA, Carolyn Maloney, Congressman Jose Serrano, Congressman Jerry Nadler, State Senators Dan Squadron and Adriano Espaillat. Let's give them a round of applause. And do we have any members of labor in the crowd today? No, because if 32 BJ was in the house, you'd hear 32 BJ. If 1199 was in the house, you'd hear 1199. If HTC was in the house, you'd hear We gather today at a very, very important time. Not just in this state, but in this nation that is going through a transformation. And you feel it on every level. You look at what's happening internationally with international affairs and the increase in terrorism, and it seems like the planet is spinning faster than ever on its axis. You look at what's happening in the environment, where yesterday's extremes are today's new normal. And you see it on what's happening in the economy, where you have a permanent underclass that can't get up that ladder, that feels that the promise of opportunity for all has been forsaken, who can't live with what they're getting paid. It's polarizing society. It's corporate greed at its worst. It's a minimum wage that doesn't work. It has to stop, and it has to stop right here, and it will in the state of New York. Now, some people call it income inequality, and we've been talking about it for years. Unfortunately, we've made very little progress, but it's not really income inequality, because we've always had income inequality, and we always will have income inequality. We never said in this country it should be equal income. It's not. But words matter. And what we're really talking about is a state of affairs that has our economy commonly dealing with wage fraud from companies that don't want to pay a true minimum wage. It's about employee extortion. It's about corporate irresponsibility. It's about the misappropriation of taxpayer funds. It's a fundamental violation of the promise of America. It is unethical, and it should be illegal what's going on. This country passed the minimum wage law in 1938. It was passed, the champion was named Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a great president. And what FDR said was that if you work full-time, you should be able to provide for yourself and your family, and you should be able to move beyond poverty. That's what the minimum wage law was all about. FDR said, and I quote, "By living wages, I mean more than a bare subsistence. I mean the wages of a decent living." That's what the minimum wage law is all about. Now, I I am proud that we raised the minimum wage law in New York 2 years ago. And I've been working very hard to raise the minimum wage again this year. I've been joined by my colleagues in the State Assembly, and I want to thank them for their support. But the Republican Senate in New York has refused to raise the minimum wage. And my friends, they are wrong. And the fact that the minimum wage law is too low is not a question of politics. And it's not a question of ideology. It's a question of simple math. You cannot support a family in New York for $18,000 per year. Period. The